other event.
Nah, that's why I'm saying just don't use Charmin.
Okay.
So yep, that's it, 58 feet. And then they mark that turn, it looks like. And then it turns again. Good Lord, your sewer's like going to Worlds of Fun. And it turns again. So you are going under the street, my friend.
Okay.
So at 68 feet 10 inches, you change over from the black ABS to the white SDR, and which is typical. So when the houses are built in the subdivision, the developer has to pay for a contractor to lay those city mains. They'll break up on the blueprints by lot, and that developer will bring a stub connection up to that lot number for the plumbers to tie into.
Okay.
And then the developer's responsible for that main for exactly 1 year before they can release and turn over to the city for Johnson County wastewater. Leawood was not under Johnson County wastewater's jurisdiction. Leawood actually had their own sewer department for maintenance and repairs.
Okay.
Just the last 10 years, 10 or 15 years, it got turned over to Johnson County wastewater. We're 108 feet, no main yet.
Wow.
We're still going across that street. 115. Here's the elusive Johnson County dive that we're getting close to. That tells me we're close to that main. And there it is, city sewer. From this clean out to the entrance of that tap, 121 feet 3 inches is your total line length.
Okay.
Everything underneath the street looks good. Tap looks good. In the state of Kansas, you're responsible for the entire line. So if you break under that road, that's yours, baby.
Oh, shit.
So what I recommend to people is to get on that sewer insurance that wastewater was putting those little pamphlets in.
Right.
Since you're all plastic, minus the set issue at the 58-foot marker with the, looks like the AT&T or whoever's cable that is, it looks like that got struck your sewer. Yeah, it's only like $110, $120 a year.
Yeah.
And then I think it covers you up to $8,000 in the event of a failure. So, pretty cheap insurance to have, because you don't want to be the guy on the recipient side of getting that bill when they got to do a street cut.
Yeah, right.
And you got to pay to pave the road. So every jurisdiction sure is different. So some will let you pave just what you cut up. Some make you stair step the cut and make you pave 10 foot or 20 foot either side of that mark. So everybody's a little bit different. But yep, you're not just like responsible to the curb. So I didn't know if you knew that or not. So
No.
yep, it's all yours, including the tap connection. So that everything underneath the road looks good. And the other thing that's kind of ironic is it looks like some of that boring mud still have washed down into that 6-inch that goes underneath the street. It's usually like a brown slurry that they use to get that bore head going. So they drill it wet. So, curious mind, I would die to know if you call in those locates and there's a orange mark intersecting around that area. But on the flip side of that coin, we've been on 2 digs now where they kind of missed on their locates, where they said it was there and it was nowhere close to that mark. So it's really up to you, my friend, what you'd like to do.
Alright.
So now that we know there's utilities on your side of the sidewalk, AT&T, for sure. I walked all the way up to the next intersection. Looking on the corners, I didn't see a Google Fiber box there, but a lot of times Google Fiber will bore in the back on some areas, but they may not even have brought it into your neighborhood.
I don't think Leawood, for some reason,
They didn't get
they
on?
couldn't get together with Leawood on their contract.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had friends in Kansas City or wherever saying,
Uh-huh.
hey, are you going to do Google Fiber? I said, I don't know, it's not in my area.
Turn that water on, Devin. Let me get these bubbles off my lens so I can get a better shot of this too.
Just run cold water.
Yeah, don't run hot because it fogs up my lens.
Well, I want to shower after you leave.
Well, you can. So, yeah, don't take the man's hot water. But there's nothing. There is a turn there downstream. That's probably the second mark, sir, that they've got in your yard.
Yes.
That's probably the 22.
Yes.
But that's not where the roots are growing in.
Huh. Yeah, that was
That
just
the roots are growing in on a straightaway section of pipe.
Yeah, they were just, that was their guess.
Uh-huh.
Right? They weren't definitive about it, but
Yep, it's definitely not on a turn.
okay.
For sure. 100%. Flush that toilet down there, Devin. Give me a big hit of water. Whatever's on the end of that doesn't want to let it go. Come on, water. There it is. Bingo. You could shut that off, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Deb.
Yeah.
Let that calm down and then I can get a better shot of it. Right there. And I know Devin was curious too, so when he came down here to verify if I turned the bug on, he saw it. He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty orange." Mm-hmm.
Really like that.
Nah, me neither. And it's running perfectly perpendicular
Yeah.
to your pipe, like perfectly perpendicular. I mean, it doesn't get any. It don't get any. Doesn't get any better than that. Like I said, that's going to be. I don't know how their quality of their camera wasn't the greatest when they TV'd it. And of course, you had a pile of roots in your way.
Right. And other stuff in that pipe.
Yeah, but right there at that tip. Oh yeah, that's so orange, it's not even funny. So, yep, 58 feet 4 inches is where it looks like it went right across the top of that. And besides the little sag that you got underneath the floor,
Uh-huh.
we're not even going to go down that road. I don't even want to tell you what you got to do if you really ever wanted to correct that. Not even going to lose any sleep over it. It's too close to this stack anyway. The rest of the line looks immaculate. No other sign of root intrusion anywhere underneath the street, the tap, or anything before or after that spot.
Okay.
All your fittings are still intact and glued together.
Yeah.
No big gaps or separations.
Well, in all my years here,
Uh-huh.
I don't recall anybody having to do an excavation in their front lawn.
Yeah.
or
And you
something
shouldn't.
like this.
And you shouldn't, sir.
Right.
The only reason that you would have to do that is if you had that big of a dip or a belly
Right.
in the line
Right.
where your solids are being all left behind and it's causing, big time issues.
Right.
When you're on an all plastic line, you shouldn't have to do any repairs of any such, not for quite a while. Now, if you had a major settling issue somewhere around in that area, and then there's the little dip, and it's not even that bad, I wouldn't, if it was my house, I wouldn't even lose sleep over it. It's minimal.